ونبدأ الآن عرض تقديمي بعنوان Employees Mental Health Management. يقدمه السيد الأستاذ جورج حنا Head of Business Development Charter Institute of Personnel and Development CIPD. فليتفضل.
So, good afternoon, everybody. How are you doing after this first 3 sessions for now? So, with all these brilliant talks here, I'm going to take you through a presentation around employee well-being and managing mental health at the workspace. I would like to start with a story. So can everybody, without sleeping right now, just close their eyes and imagine. Imagine you're going to do a heart surgery. People are not closing their eyes yet. Close your eyes, please. So imagine you're in a hospital. All the nurses are around you. You have said goodbye or your nice words to your loved ones, because you're going to do a heart surgery. It's a difficult one. You are now in the surgery room. All the machines around you are beeping, beep, beep, beep. The nurse is coming and just telling you, don't worry. Although the doctor who's going to operate on you does not have a professional license to do it, he have done it for 100 times before and have good results. So don't worry, you're in safe hands. Anybody can share what he felt when I said he does not have a professional license? Yeah, I would have jolted out of this and run away. Like, get me out of here. The problem is we are doing the same with our organizations. In HR, we have been part of the cobbler's children syndrome. أو زي ما احنا بنقول بالمصري باب النجار مخلع. We have been very focused على the training and development of everyone else except ourselves. We have been trying to get people in finance to be professional with ACCA or CMA, risk financing. We have been doing all of this for the organization. But when it comes to our part, HR, learning and development, we have been forgotten by ourselves. So this is why we are here, and this is the title for this, Reinventing HR. We are dealing with the heart of the organization. So our people are the heart of the organization. We can't deal with them without being professional enough and having all the tools to do this. So, how many of you know about the CIPD at all? Okay. So good that I got an introductions for everybody to know. So at CIPD, our main mission is to champion better work and working lives. And we do that through having the best experts and knowledge around the globe. So we are the professional body for HR and learning and development globally. Actually, the biggest across 400 other organizations in Europe and the whole world. CIPD is the largest one. We do that by making the agenda for better work and better working lives. So, how we do that, we have 160,000 members of HR professionals across the globe. In more than 75 countries, we're dealing with more than 1,000 organizations, and we deal mainly with people professions, so HR and learning and development teams, and we're expanding to deal with leaders and managers outside the HR, because we believe that without the frontline managers, we can't change the way we're working. So, in CIPD, some of you may know it by the qualifications we provide, our level 3 or level 5 or level 7 qualification, but we do much more around policy engagement across different countries, in the UAE, in the UK, and in different places. We do a lot of research with 120 years backing of research, and we do a lot of employer-specific solutions and learning. Without going into further, have anybody seen this profession map within? Yes, thank you. Anybody else? Okay, good. So the profession map is the worldwide industry standards for HR, and it all rotates around the purpose, making people's life better, but it also is evidence-based, principles-led, and outcome-driven, which we need to lead our organizations this way. So it has the core behaviors. So what behaviors do we need to have in HR professionals? It has the core knowledge and the specialist knowledge. And I will just go quickly through them. So core knowledge is around people practice, culture, behavior, business acumen, evidence-based practice, technology and people, and change. That's the core that we need to have. And there is also the specialist part, which is around employee experience, employee relations, organizational development, talent management, and resources. And it's not just that. So in each and every core behavior or core knowledge, there is a set of standards, competencies, and skills on different levels of building the job. So this is a complete interactive standard, international standards for HR, and this is where we mapped all the qualifications, learnings, and assessment criteria. So what do we do with organizations? We work hand in hand with some of the biggest organizations across the globe and in the region. I would say a couple of names. So the NHS, which is the biggest employer globally with 1.2 million people across and 18,000 HR professionals. We are working with them this way, same as Saudi Aramco here, Saudi, where we're working with them across the globe in reinventing their HR. So we start by defining how good HR looks like in your organization based on the size of the organization, the function, and then we put the standards, the framework, and the competencies. After that, we diagnose. So we have a range of assessments to diagnose each and every skill and standard. So we analyze the gap in the knowledge and behaviors. Once we analyze the gap and provide you with a heat map and a gap analysis, we build bespoke training and development programs for your HR teams, and then we recognize them. We recognize them how? By professional membership in the biggest membership body, which is CIPD, and also we recognize employers by providing them a professional development partner status, which means that they are withholding the highest HR standards across internationally. Okay, enough talking around CIPD, and let's get into the mental health. And I will start with one thing. There have been a lot of terminology going on, people saying mental health, mental well-being, and they are taking both into the same place. So mental health, بمنتهى البساطة زي physical health. I'm physically healthy, ولا النهاردة أنا تعبان مش physically healthy عندي مشكلة. Mental health ممكن تيجي في أي age, أي background. It does not ما بتفرقش بين الناس around mental health. Mental well-being ممكن ناس تشبهها بالresilience شوية، بس هي it's around the coping of day to day. وإن أنا أقدر perform in a productive and good way that help me and help my organization. فبس this is the start. Good mental health means being generally able to think, feel, and react in the way that I need and want to live. Poor mental health, it makes feeling, thinking very hard to me to act normally in my normal self. دي حاجة بس لازم ناخد بالنا منها with around the terminologies. طيب, why? سوري يا جورج، انت قاعد تتكلم معنا في mental health 20 سنة فاتوا أو 30 سنة فاتوا أو 5 سنين فاتوا. مشاكلك بتاعت البيت، شكلك النفسية، take it home. You're here to deliver your job. صح؟ مالناش دعوة. يعني ليه؟ هل احنا بقينا متدلعين؟ لا. هي الفكرة numbers says it all. What happened? So numbers says it all. This is a research around the UK, but it's very relevant لمصر كمان because of the population, because of الاقتصاد. The mental health issue costs the UK 117 billion British pounds a year. انتم متخيلين الرقم? And we are not taking care of it the right way. And we're talking about UK who are advanced in their HR practices in how they are dealing with things. طيب, one of the three most common things is absence. صحيت النهارده تعبان, مش قادر اجي, مش تعبان physically, تعبان عشان stressed, مش قادر اشوف مديري. Has been a very anxious, البروجكت مضغوط علينا جامد, صحيت تعبان ما جيتش. That's costing money. الكوستنج ماني اكتر من كده ان انا صحيت وتعبان ومش قادر اشوف حد في الشغل النهارده ورحت قعدت قدام اللابتوب ما عملتش اي حاجه. and trust me انا مش هقول مين شاف الموضوع ده قبل كده يرفع ايده because I know ان كلنا شفناه او كلنا عملناه actually قبل كده. مش بس كده, staff turnover. You know, it's really very high ان احنا كل واحد بيمشي من organization, a good recruit that we have, we pay thousands to get somebody back. We pay thousands for recruitment costs, مش بس recruitment cost, training costs. ال cost of failure اللي بيحصل له في الأول. He fails, لأن هو لسه جديد فبيتعلم. That's cost. كل ال costs دي is in billions, and we're not taking care of the mental health. So I'm coming to you as finance people and saying this is a financial gain if we focused on it. conflict at work. كم مرة شفتوا حد بيتضايق أو بيوقف project عشان جاي النهاردة متضايق أو متعصب أو زعلان أو he's not feeling well? A lot of conflicts that happen is back to mental health. وثالث حاجة هي الخسارة على الامبلوير براند. وخليني أقول لكم إن آخر إحصائية in people who are seeking jobs, 40% says that employer brand when it comes to mental health is the number one thing they are looking at when they are accepting a new job. Oh, I'm sorry. I'll stick to English if possible. Okay, thank you. So employer brand is damaged if we don't take care of mental health. Okay, so how can we take care of it? The coming slides are a bit heavy because I wanted to give you practical advice and I wanted the slides to be shared so people can go back to them. And this is all built on research by CIPD and by other international organizations. So first of all is good practice in recruitment, because the biggest stressor is having the wrong candidate in the wrong job. So it's having a misfit between the candidate and the job he's doing. First of all, a misfit in the values, a misfit on their personality and how they can achieve the job and how can they deliver on the job. Second of all, which is a very key thing, is our job descriptions and how we're writing them. It's a very small thing, but really reflects a huge grade. So rather than we are asking in the job description for this person to be social and have nice social skills, no. The job is required networking. Because I can be very social, I can be really nice to talk, but if you put me in a room full of people and you ask me to talk to them, sorry, I can't do it. So it's actually emphasizing on the requirements of the job rather than the personal attributes. Also having assessments around the mental agility, psychometric assessments, so we have an understanding of the candidate and how can his personal attributes help in the job. So that's a very big prevention method, is to hire the right people for the right job. Okay, how can we prevent it also again? Oh, what's happening with the slides? Okay, how can we help it again? First of all, good induction. Who here had a good induction when he started his job? Had a really good induction? Felt that he's getting at home, that he knows everything around the company when he joined? Higher, so I can see? Okay. Okay. So we're talking around 1% of the room. We are not giving induction the right emphasis. We're just getting people, put them in their desk, they will learn on the job. There's no problem about learning of the job, but good induction needs to start with an induction of the company mission and vision and how this job is helping in this vision. Also, it should start with a one-to-one with my manager, getting introduced to the team, getting introduced to the other functions and how they can support me, key individuals, and then get introduced to the benefits that I'm getting out of the job. So I am enabled to do my job. And it doesn't have to be a training, because maybe I know how to do exactly what I'm hired to do, but I need to feel belonging to the organization. And we always skip this, and this have a huge impact on mental health for candidates. Impact of manager behavior, I think that everyone knows here that impact of manager behavior, and was shared in the morning, that people stay because of their managers and because of the relationship with their managers. But the last statistics says like 36% of employees do not feel that their manager care about their mental health at all. And out of these, 78% says that their manager are the reason they are stressed, or they are the reason why they are having an anxiety, why they are having stress. I think I have left you guys a bit, so I'm coming here so nobody fall asleep. So, what else? And I'm going to talk about the manager and how we deal with this in the coming slides. But positive change in culture, in management culture. And this only comes from the people that are in this room and who are the managing directors, who are the senior HR leaders. This is our job, is to change the culture. How to change the culture? Lead by example. Talk around mental health within your town halls. Talk around mental health with your staff, with your direct directors, with your direct managers. So you can really empower people to talk about it in their meetings. And then building resilience and stress management skills. There is a lot of stress management techniques, a lot of techniques to support your team to build resilience to change. Because we are in an ever-changing world, like everyone else said before me. Everything is changing, and change really stress people in most of the times. So we need to cope and have the resilience. Okay, going to what we need to do as managers and as leaders. So that goes across all leadership boards. First of all, lead by example. If I'm having my manager talking to me around mental health and how I'm doing, most probably I'll talk to my employee too. If my manager is asking me, how is your team doing? How is their mental health? How is their morale? I'll make sure that next time I ask, because I want to have an answer. Don't want to really say they are fine and then find someone who's having a big problem. That will make me look bad. So start by asking the question, by mimicking the right behavior. Start by having the healthy work-life balance. Start telling people who are staying late, go home. It's 5 p.m. You need to go home. You have a family to go to. That will really help support them. Build your confidence around mental health. Mental health is a taboo because we don't read about it. We don't know the terminology. We don't know how to have the conversation. Start reading about it. Start knowing the terminology. Start taking action to actually educate yourself, because we own our education. Oh, again. Okay. So normalize mental health, and how we do that through talking about it, putting it on the agenda, putting it on our agenda in the team meetings. Talk to our team about it. See collectively how the mental health is going. Talk about it in the one-to-one. The more we talk about it, the more it's normal, that it's not a taboo. It's not like I'm having a mental health issue, then I'm really out of the picture, or really that's informing my performance. Be available to your staff. These are very simple things, but really it makes the whole difference. When I find that I can reach my manager when I'm having a problem, that means being available. If I'm only available to my employees only in the one-to-ones, and I know that sometimes on the director level and a CEO level, you are swamped with meetings and don't have the time, but it's your responsibility to be available for your employees because they are the one delivering the company strategy. You're one person at the end managing thousands of people or hundreds of people. They are the one who needs your support rather than the media, rather than the very strategic meetings. Yes, these are important, but if your direct reports needs you, they need to be able to come to you. Okay, and treat people as individuals. Don't assume that because one person have a mental health problem, he can't perform, because that's not right. People with mental health problems or mental health challenges can perform their job really well, but they need your support. And of course, embedding employee engagement. And this is around getting the employees to have a voice to say how they want to be managed. Not how they want to be managed, how get their voice on how they like to be managed, how they would like the team to be working together. Get their ideas. It's not this, it's my way or the highway, or it's my way and you got like 1% to change. Talk and get them engaged. And promote positive work relationships. Okay, so one of the important things, and I hope this slide doesn't go away, is spotting the workplace triggers and spotting personal triggers. Workplace triggers, as I said, people working very late, people who have a huge workload, unrealistic deadlines sometimes. It sometimes happens, it always happens, but we need to figure out who are the people that are affecting the most so we can manage this with them. Job insecurity, poor change management, which is happening in a lot of organizations around the world. It's a time of change. Everybody's afraid of change. And sometimes leaders do not know where the journey is going to end and who are going to be impacted on and not, and how to work this change around it. And then high-risk roles, which is some of your roles, being a head of an organization, being a regional director, because it's very lonely in the top. Sometimes you can't share what you know, you can't share what you have, and that puts pressure on us. So also recognizing that we are sometimes the victims, maybe, on mental health side. I'll go on spotting external parts, which is around drug abuse, child abuse, people that have problems at home. And this is why we need to, how is your life outside work doing? People might share, people might not, but maybe a question will differ in their life. And that's what the coming quote, and I'm going to read it for you. What made a huge difference, this is one a lady talking about her manager. What made a huge difference was being asked if I was okay. Simple as that. I don't seek out people to tell. It's not in my introspective nature. Without being too drama queen about it, I would have left work by now without her support and wouldn't be going back to anything and probably would have been self-destructing right now. Imagine how are you okay may change a person's life and future perspective. Sometimes, and I'm guilty of it too, I start a meeting, okay, how is the business? What is the pipeline? Where is it going? We have these challenges. And we just go in it without even asking the people, how is your life? Are you guys okay? Because that's all what they need to hear if they are having a challenge. Okay, how we can encourage it, again, and this is a repeated thing, poach the subject, talk about it, start asking. When we have mental health issue or poor days, we don't go and speak about it. We don't want people to see like, I'm having a bad day or I'm having depression maybe for a couple of months. I'm not going to come and discuss it if you don't ask. I'm really afraid of coming and discussing it. But if you started asking, most probably I'll be answering and letting you know everything. But please make sure that your questioning is right and in the right time. So how are we saying questioning is right? You can say, I have noticed that you have came late this past couple of days. Are you okay? You're not judging him for coming late. You're not challenging him. Please do not say, we're all in this situation together. Why can't you handle it? That's not right. Or your performance is down. You need to get it up. I don't know how to help you. That's really not the right things. You need to ask genuinely if they are okay. Sorry? And then responding when they come back to you, because they may not come back to you in your first question. They may come back to you when they genuinely feel that you want to talk to them and you want to understand, they come back to you. And then when they come back, you need to find the appropriate place. Obviously, not taking it in the whole way to discuss people's mental health across colleagues, but also try to find a nice, quiet place, maybe outside work, where you can respond. Avoid making assumptions. Assumptions ruins any conversation. Avoid making assumptions that because he's having a mental health issue, he can't perform. Or he can't perform because he has a mental health issue. Most important thing, and this is crucial for all organizations, is confidentiality. You need to have a confidentiality policy around mental health issues. And encourage him to talk. Or ask open, simple questions and have a flexibility in your response. You may have actually went through something of a mental health issue and overcame it. That does not make it any way easier on other people. So not because you have overcame it, then I have done it, you can do it. No, people are different, so respond flexibly. But also help them to develop an action plan, because for anyone to develop or to be better, they need to work. They need to own their work, they need to own their development, and they need to really want to get better out of this situation. Encourage people to seek support, of course. And I know that this is a very problematic thing here in the Middle East and in Egypt, but seeking the right support, either a psychologist or a psychiatrist or a coach, you need to have this actually access to these within your organization. And also you can seek help. Okay, last thing around tips for managing underperformance for people, so we don't really push them towards the mental health problems, is focus on the person, not the problem. Yes, the problem is underperformance, but we need to know why, what's happening with the person. So focus on the person. Ask simple, open, non-judgmental questions. We are not judging people. We want to help them perform better. This is our role as leaders and managers. We hire them. We want them to perform better. Consider health-related issues, or consider actually adjustments in the workplace to support them achieve their goals. Make it clear that the organization is prepared to put in place support. It's not like we want people to be better. We want people to flourish, so our organization to flourish. Go back to the 117 billion pounds that we're missing on because we're not supporting people on the right way. Allow the employee to be supported in discussions, sometimes maybe having an advocate if they can't speak, if there is really very tension. So allow them to have an advocate in the room to speak with them. And, okay, and use mediation to resolve conflicts. So there is mediation processes that we can use. And finally, I would like to thank you all and tell you that mental health needs a great deal of attention. It is the final taboo here, and we need to really address it. And I think this is why we're all here today. So thank you very much for your time, and great having you. Any questions? Anybody have questions? Do we have time for questions? Anybody? Any questions? Okay. Thank you very much.